What's up, everybody? It's Castle of the Dissect DJs. Happy summertime. Hope everybody's having a fun July. And you really should, because let's be honest, this is arguably the best time of year. Now, I'm a big October man myself, but you can make a strong case for the heart of the summer. You know, we have good weather. There's just a general summer energy that just lives around the corner of wherever you're at. And there's not much reason to be mad about it. Now, if you were to make a case about what is not that great about this time of year, it would probably be that it's the worst time of year for the sports schedule. And yeah, you could make that case. But I will make a case for February. You know, right after the Super Bowl ends, still got like another month until March Madness heats up. There is absolutely nothing going on the sports calendar at that time. And likewise, around this time of year, we just lost basketball, hockey. Still got about another month until NFL starts up. And there is not a whole lot to keep you entertained. But on the plus side, at least it's not February. You go outside, fuck yeah, feels like July. But the other plus side, baseball. That's right. A lot of people would like to say it kind of sucks right now because all we got going on is baseball. But I'm going to make the case for baseball right now. In our last episode, I mentioned that one of the top 5 things America brings to the table is its baseball stadiums. And that was not hyperbole. I meant every word of that. Go to a baseball park. The nearest by you, next time you're traveling somewhere, they all have great character, individualistic styles, and it really gives a good read of what that city is. They all have their own skyline. They generally build them in the middle of the city, and you get to experience outdoor nature at its finest at a professional baseball game. So that's one thing. The other thing, as of the release of this episode right now, we got the All-Star game. And I would make an argument that it is the best All-Star game in sports. Because sometime in the last 20 years, most of the other professional sports, they all just decided, we're good on the All-Star game. We're going to mock you for watching us and going to give less of an effort than we do for the pregame warm-ups. Not baseball. Think about it. You got guys out there who are going to pitch 1 inning at most, maybe get 2 at-bats if they're lucky. They want to show out. They want to show why they're on this roster. And if you win MVP of that game, you get like a fucking Range Rover or something. And a trophy. And probably just like a gangload of money that they don't need. I don't know, it's a cool game to win MVP at. So why would you not take your best hack once you're at the plate? Best All-Star game in sport. And the other thing, baseball, great movies. Especially in the 90s. And that brings me to this week's episode, as I am digging back into the archives of the 3 Things About podcast, which, in case you're not familiar, was my original podcast, which then spun off into the Dissect DJs. And then this podcast ended up getting much more listenership, and I really just decided to focus on this one, Why split my time into 2 when there's really one that everybody's going towards? But what we did with the 3 Things About podcast is we ended up turning it into a bit of a movie review pod. I believe it's still out there. You can still look up the archives. But I will help you out in bringing back one of the episodes we did. I believe it was 2 years ago. It was me, DJ Jag, and J-Way. We all jumped in the booth and broke down the legendary 1992 classic, A League of Their Own. And I was always really proud of this one. I felt like it came together as one of the best episodes we ever did, even though at one point we were about 15 minutes in and Justin realized he wasn't recording. So we had to go back and restart the whole thing. But you couldn't even tell. We were still on our A game, and we had a thorough discussion about one of the best movies of the 90s, which really was the best time for baseball movies. I'm just going to say it. Angels of the Outfield, the Major League movies, even though I think the first one came out in the late 80s. How about Rookie of the Year? Bull Durham, I think that was an 80s movie. I never actually even saw that one. I probably should. I've always heard good things. Little Big League. That one slept on a lot. Has Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. coming out of the pen. Go watch that movie, but only after you listen to us break down A League of Their Own. Unless you want to watch it first and then listen to it, in which case, I grant you the ability to do that. You're your own person. You can do whatever the hell you want. But at this point, I would encourage you to listen to our full-on discussion about the movie that made us all fall in love with women's baseball, which most of us didn't even know was a thing. And as brought up on that podcast, it's kind of crazy that it was only a thing for like a few years back in the 40s. It's wild they never brought it back. But anyways, that's one of many talking points that get brought up. So, without further ado, I'm going to end this pre-ramble and go ahead and get in to our full episode on one of the greatest films of the 90s, A League of Their Own. Take it away, boys.
Batter up, hear that call. The time has come for one and all
To play ball. I'm Ryan Castle, and it is showtime. Yes, Dream Squad is back to break down the movie that we've been talking about for years, League of Their Own, 1992 classic about the All-American League. It is the Three Things We Got to Talk About podcast. I am Ryan Castle, joined as ever by my Jam Wagon squad. It is Jason Malibuya.
Greetings and salutations.
What up, J-Way? And Justino Garcia, a.k.a. DJ
What's
Jack.
going on? It's DJ J. What's going on, everybody?
And we've been waiting to tackle this one for a minute. I feel like we've made passing notes on it left and right over our Dissect DJs history, but yeah, it's time to finally get into it. Rip out the seams, tear that baseball open, talk about A League of Their Own. 1992 film starring Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, among others, which we will get into.
Madonna,
John Lovitz.
Rosie O'Donnell.
All them hitters.
The dude from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Is he in there too?
Oh, yeah, he still will as an adult. So much stuff to get into. So let's not waste any time. And let's get into the question that has been teeming at the seats for years with me and Justino. And Jay-Way, too.
You know what? It kind of, it grinds my gears a little bit, too. Yep.
And that is a question that we're going to debate. And thing number one. Did Dottie Henson drop the ball on purpose?
Of course. She's the best player in the game by a lot. She came back for Game 7 to purposely play in that game, of which it wasn't even needed for Games 1 through 6. They were fine without her. She came for Game 7 purposely to give her sister the win because her sister's a crybaby and decided to cry for all the different things throughout the movie and throughout the different season. And yes, dropped the ball on purpose to help her sister, of which destroyed their relationship, and they didn't even keep it throughout their life, and they didn't talk again until they were like 60. But
60. Yes. They were like in their 80s.
Whatever age.
80s, yeah. If I look like that when I'm 60, it would just put me in a coffin.
By the way, old Kit, spot on. She looked exactly like Kit looked. I don't know if you noticed that.
Did old Dottie, was that actually Gina Davis?
Yes.
Because that looked pretty...
I don't think it was. Both of them, honestly, great actresses.
No shit.
Like, the visuals alone, they both actually look like...
100% that was both those actresses in the old...
I don't think
Google
it was. I will. Jason, Dottie, did she drop the ball on purpose?
On purpose, absolutely not. She got fucking trucked. She got absolutely trucked. Kit wanted it more. Younger sibling. Prove myself time and time and time again that I deserved to be here, that they made the right decision. There's no way she wanted to let her little sister win. I have an older brother. He didn't want me to win anything. He wanted me to earn it. Yeah, dude, Kit all day. And you know what? Always root for the younger sibling because I am one. Rooted for her when I was, a kid and I watched the movie for the first time. But I swear to God, she trucked the shit out of Dottie. Yeah, that's not even in question for me.
Yeah, I kind of had the same take. When I always grew up watching this, I actually always had Kit's back because as you said, I was the younger sibling. I had an older brother, and I always kind of wanted to be on her side because I was like, oh, when you're just that young, you don't have the same physical abilities. You're just not capable of actually catching up with your older brother when you're a young age, right? So I kind of felt Kit's pain when it was just like your older sister's just better at you at everything. Everybody likes how she looks better. Everybody just wants to fawn over her, and you just get passed over. You're just Dottie's sister, right? So I kind of had her back. But when I watch it back as an adult, I'm like, did Kit ever even respect Dottie? Did she ever even have an appreciation for her abilities? Like, she is the best player in the professional baseball league that has never existed. And all she can do is whine about it. At no point, there's not even like a scene where Dottie makes an awesome play, and Kit's like, hey, nice snag, sis. Like, there's none of that. It's just one after the other of Dottie getting attention, Dottie making awesome plays, and then they just show Kit just looking at her like, oh, this fucking bitch. She's stealing all my shine. So then it comes down to this final play. First of all, Kit should have been out by a mile. She blows through the stop sign at third base. Literally, the third baseman already has the ball in the glove, which I guess would be Doris, right?
Yes.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Sitting at third, ready to throw it, and throws it out. And Dottie's sitting there with 3 seconds waiting for Kit to
Kit
come.
hasn't even hit third base yet.
She's like checking her watch. Like,
Before you go into that, let's go. You got it all the way to she's about to hit Dottie. But let's go reverse back all the way back to game game 1 of this thing. By the way, there's a quick 15-20 second synopsis in the movie of like newspaper clippings of how the game happens. Game 1, they are down. They lose the game 10-1. The Peaches lose 10-1. They're down 1. Then game 2, I'm not sure what the score was, but they tie the series. Then they go down 3-1 in the series. Mm-hmm. At that point, without Dottie Henson in the lineup, and by the way, let's go back to the 10-1 game. That's probably Kit pitching that game, right?
100%.
First game. So she only threw a one run game at the
one
earned
run, yeah.
Amazing. That's a good pitching game from Kit. She's killing that. And in the final, pitched a no-hitter, a no-score game.
You're not very good at baseball.
No, I know. You get that. But you get what I'm saying. She pitched was it no-hitter, no runs?
She was pitching a scoreless frame. She was pitching 8 scoreless innings, and then it came to the 9th inning and it was 1-0.
Amazing games. She only had 2 earned runs in 18 innings. Like her earned run average is 1.
You know what I bet?
Great
though?
pitcher.
I bet Alice hit that home run right there. Though.
No, we saw it. Let's not sleep on Ellen Sue, the Miss July or whatever pitcher.
Oh, the Rock for Peaches pitcher.
Yes, who was pitching a shutout herself.
And throughout the movie, pitches fantastically.
She does.
Even hits the disrespectful guy who's I'm
nails
a ball player.
Nails him.
Hits him right in the dome. Like, yeah.
I have a question about that guy real quick. Did that dude just show up to the game? Did he buy a ticket to talk shit?
In spite.
Like, he showed up before they even started the game. They're warming up. And he gets up there and he's like, I'm a girl. I can't play ball. Look at me. And it just... Yeah, I feel like
he got
all
blasted.
his buddies.
I feel like he got blasted.
Oh,
he got there and it was like 4 beers because they were 10 cents each. And whatever.
You know what's going to be funny? Was stand up and show these chicks what's up.
Yeah, watch this.
He told all the guys at the mill, guess what I'm going to do.
This is going to be funny. Watch this.
Check this out.
Get this.
Batting fourth and playing second base, number 32, Marla Hooch. Girls can't play ball! Batting fifth and playing left field, number 11, Better look out, I might break it in. Seventh, the shortstop, number 1, Ellen Sue Gutlander. Number 17, Evelyn Gardner.
Yeah, gets up there. Said it. Anyway, go back to the pitcher. She pitches a fantastic game going into. What did she pitch? No runs, right?
So the only run that are we talking about Ellen Sue?
Ellen Sue.
Yeah, the only run she gives up in that game is because what's her name? Eleanor, I believe.
Overthrows.
The one with the little son who can't remember to hit the cutoff man, overthrows it, which rightfully sets Jimmy off. And who does his best. First of all, I just got to say, Tom Hanks, amazing in this role. I believe he is Jimmy Dugan the entire stretch. Whether he's being drunk and he's passed out in the dugout, or he's being kind of sincere with Dottie, whatever it is, I believe everything he's saying, especially in this spot right here, where he is so incensed that Eleanor still can't hit the cutoff man. And they had a whole scene earlier in the season where she starts crying, and he's like, there's no crying. There's no crying in baseball. And that's because she can't hit the cutoff man, which he's made a point to drive home. She still can't do it, and it costs them the only run that has come across the plate in the World Series Game 7, going into the 9th inning. So, back to my point, Ellen Sue, not only does she look great, she pitches great.
She threw a peach of a game.
A peach of a game. Also, old Ellen Sue, the first thing that old Dottie says to her, she's like, wow, you haven't changed a bit. And
I'm married. Well, she says, I married a plastic surgeon.
Yeah. I'm married a plastic surgeon. You don't say.
Which explains it. But honestly,
I
whatever.
do declare.
She kind of looks just like her. I don't know if it's the same actress with like prosthetics.
She could get it.
Yeah. So where were we with the play?
But she
Okay.
said- wait, real quick. She says plastic surgeon and her face doesn't move. You know that?
Stay still. Yeah,
sense.
plastic surgery will do that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So yes, Kid is running at the plate. Dottie Henson is sitting there for 3 seconds at least with the ball in hand, waiting to get hit. Kit smacks her at the home plate, and you're saying at that point, Dottie gets hit so hard, she drops the ball.
So what we've seen from Dottie is a multitude of feeling about the game of baseball.
Real quick.
She doesn't
Because we
care.
missed this part, but at a 3-1 deficit, did the Peaches even have a chance at this point? Like, does your inner, like, Stephen A., your inner, like, Skip
Oh,
Bayless
man.
come out and really, like,
If we had
3-1 in a series with Dottie Henson not there and, Kit probably, Kit's not pitching.
That
just
shit
picked
is
it.
over.
That game's
Okay.
over. Am I?
My tripping?
Okay. If we had the talking heads that we have today, with this series that's happening in, 1943?
Yeah.
Okay?
Down 3-1.
Dottie Henson leads, and they're down. First of all, they lose 10-1 in game 1, as you mentioned. Now they're down 3-1. Allow me to channel my inner Stephen A. Ask me that question again.
With the series of the Rockford Peaches and the Racine, what was her name?
Bells.
Racine Bells.
Racine Bells. Racine is up 3-1 with the first game, the Peaches losing 10-1. How do you see this series going?
First of all, I don't even think that's a question. The series was over before it began. When your star Dottie Henson leaves the team high and dry and decides she doesn't want any part of the team, she doesn't want to be a part of a Rockford Peach, she doesn't want to be anything near Jimmy Dugan or any of the members of the team that have brought them to this point, that series is done. This team has collapsed, absolutely obliterated, dilapidated, everything that you
Marla
ever
Hooch?
mentioned. Who wears Marla Hooch? Skip, you tell me where Marla Hooch is. Did she get married in mid-season? Did she decide that she needed this? No, nobody on the Rockford Peaches decided that they needed baseball in their life. And I point the glaring finger at Jimmy Dugan because he decided that none of these girls need to play baseball. This was all a money grab for him. He wanted to come out there, he wanted to wave his little red hat. And as soon as Dottie Henson left this series was over. I don't even know why we're asking this question.
They lost Dottie Henson, Marla Hooch, and Betty Spaghetti?
And Betty Spaghetti's been gone. God rest her soul. But this team has taken far too many blows for them to make any kind of a series of this. It is reprehensible that Dottie Henson would leave her team high and dry when they were in this state. Marla Hooch decided that she didn't need this anymore because now she has a husband and this series is over. I don't even know why you're asking me this question. I'm embarrassed for you that you're sitting across the desk from me and that you're asking if the Rockford Peaches still have an opportunity to make a comeback at the Racine Bells. Not to mention, Kit, Dottie Henson's little sister, is on the mound for Game 7. The series is over.
I agree. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Stephen.
Is it Steve or Steven?
Stephen A. Thank you for
Stephen
Stephen
A.
A. Thank you for your synopsis of the situation. We are now at Game 7 with Kit hitting the game hitter, which by the way went flying to right field about 300 feet. She hit that thing.
Talking about Kit?
Kit hits
All
the
right,
ball 300
okay, let's
feet.
hit the rewind a little bit, okay? Because first we got to go to the top of the ninth, right? This is important to discuss, right? So first of all, I gotta say, I absolutely love the score of this entire Game 7. The way they're able to tune it up as soon as like there's action, and it's got that sort of old.
Oh, you mean the musical score? It's not like score, but okay.
Oh, sorry, I should have made that clear.
Yeah.
The musical score is incredible in the entire Game 7. It's kind of got an old school feel from sort of the era that it's representing. And then as soon as there's action and somebody gets a hit and there's this like, it's just like there's energy and you feel it. And then when it comes to a big plate appearance,
A climax?
right, the music slows down and you have the horns and it goes, and the Rockford Peaches are down to the final out. Now striding to the plate, Dottie Henson. And you immediately feel just the magnitude of this moment. You got Kit on the mound facing her big sister who's just always beat her at everything. And she knows she's better than her. But she only needs one more out, and then she's the one who's finally the champion. But guess who's better? Dottie. She knocks it over her head.
Oh, bite me on the butt and call me an apple. She nearly took her head off. What if he don't score?
brings in 2 runs.
Can we just say that prior to that,
Yeah.
Doris is at
Rewind again.
Yeah, right. Doris, they have Doris, the third baseman, probably the
Rosie O'Donnell.
probably the slowest runner on their team at either first or second, and the batter decides to lay down a bunt with their slowest player at the lead runner. Crazy bunt to throw. They throw out the first baseman, and Doris ends up at third to bring it around. But still, what a crazy bunt to throw down with your slowest runner running in their lead base.
Yeah.
Just gotta say that about that. It's a risky thing by the
Risky play, but Jimmy Dugan plays loose.
Gotta risk it
Fast and
for
loose.
the biscuit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, like you said, Dottie hits
works
him
out.
in and smacks in the run.
And then she doesn't make eye contact. Again, Kit kind of does a thing where she looks over. She's like, why'd you have to do that to me? And Dottie won't make eye contact with her. We're like, bitch, this is game. All right? We're in a professional league. We're on the opposite side. And you're trying to look at me like, how could you do that to me? And then Kit falls apart in the dugout, right? She is just a mess. She's bawling. Low-key MVP of the Racine Bells, a catcher who's just like,
Save that.
Kit. What?
Save the MVP for the end. But yes,
No,
I
I'm
agree.
saying Racine's MVP.
Oh, well, I was going to give that.
Oh, okay. We'll save that then.
Okay.
Okay. So then she's falling apart. It's like, yo, this is a 1-run game. Get your shit together. Okay? You know you're up like 3rd or 4th in the next inning. So pull it together. And guess what? Guess who comes up? 1 out, left to go. She's not even on the deck circle. They have to like tell her, Kit, grab a bat. And she's still got tears running all down her face. She's in no place to hit.
You would think the coach would take her out. Like, you know what?
No, you get a pinch hitter at that point.
Yeah, she's
for
the
sure.
pitcher, been pitching for 8 innings. It's okay.
Yeah,
you
she's
switch
worn
her out.
Makes total sense.
Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and send this train wreck up there. Swing away.
Are you crying? Get
I
up
only
there.
got-
I think you got potential. Like,
Yeah, I see a fire in you right now.
I only got my season on the line. I'd say got a good hench about this
Head
one.
coach is like, we're not gonna get renewed next year. Fuck it.
Get out there. Get out there and
This is
give it your all.
This is it. So she comes up to the plate like a total mess. And this right here is why I actually believe that Dottie did not mean to drop the ball. I think Dottie would like you to believe that she dropped the ball on purpose. But at this moment, she walks up to Ellen Sue, who's been pitching a gem of a game. She marches the mound and tells her, give her the high fast stuff. She can't hit it, can't lay off of it. Which tells me Dottie is there to win.
High fastballs. Just can't hit him. Can't lay off. All right.
I think ultimately she wants Kit to succeed and she wants to see her sister do well. But when she's in the competitive fire, she's there to win. And she wants Kit to learn. She wants her to know, I've been telling you to lay off the high stuff the whole time because you can't hit it. You never listen to me. Boom, guess what? I'm going to give it to you right now.
And she smacks a high one.
She misses the
And
first
then,
two.
I mean, she smacks the.
Yeah, but she
She
smacks
does.
the third one to right field, which means she was behind the hit, actually.
Yeah.
Like, she was actually behind that ball.
opposite power.
Opposite power. That got lucky. She barely hit that fucking ball. She was about to strike the fuck out on the swinging thing. It was about to happen. Like, and then she hits it to right field. Deep right field. For some reason, the right fielder is not playing safe at this point. She's playing super shallow.
Well, those
because
fields...
because she can't hit the high ones.
Those fields back then in the day, they had crazy measurements. Like, if you look at a graphic of, like, the Polo Grounds, which is one of the original Major League Baseball stadiums in New York, it was, like, 200 to the foul pole, and then it was, like, 500 to center field. Like,
Lopsided.
it was, yeah, it was insane. Like, what? Go look at a map of what the Polo Grounds look like right now. So it's possible that maybe that's just what this field looked like, because this was back in those days when they didn't know how to build a baseball field properly. But she comes around. I think she utilizes the fact that she knows Dottie has a soft spot for her because there's no reason for her to keep going. The ball is already in the third baseman's mitt. Before she even touches third, she goes right through the stop sign and absolutely trucks Dottie because she thinks she will give it to her. And to this point, before I watched it last night, I always thought that she did drop it on purpose. I thought there was like a half second where she kind of held on to it. But when I watched it back last night, that hand hits the ground as the ball gets released.
The coach is giving Keller the stop sign at third, but no, she is not stopping. Keller is running through the stop sign at third. She is not stopping. She ran right through the sign. Here comes the throw. It could be in time.
I don't think she actually had a choice in the matter. I think the impact of the entire situation, she got trucked by Kit, and she ended up kind of happy with it. So
she's the best player in the game. If she knew that if she kept the ball in her glove, got hit by 3 seconds to wait for Kit, the small half her size little girl of a sister, to come and hit her, hold the ball and thing, touch it, boom, game over. No, she decided to release the hand because she got trucked, you say, by somebody so small. Lets her hand go and then releases the ball. No, she was trying to let her sister win finally because she was so dominant and wanted everything. And let her sister win. And you know what her sister did? Said, all right, thanks for the win, and now I'm never talking to you a fucking again.
I don't know, man. I still think the competitive spirit goes back to when they were on the farm. And they're walking to the house. And Dottie didn't even want to lose walking to the house.
that's right.
There's no way she dropped that on purpose.
Yeah.
She got trucked. That's it.
On the surface, she wants to be there for Kit, but ultimately, like, the competitive fire lives within her. And this actually brings me to a question about Dottie that stood out to me in this past watching more than anything. Why is Dottie so refusing to embrace the fire she has and the passion for baseball? It's really a continual thing throughout the entire movie. Yes, she wants to have a baby with her husband, but even at the beginning when she's an old woman, she's like, oh, I don't want to go. And her daughter has to literally force her to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony because she's like, this meant a lot to you. And she's like, no, they don't really need me. I was only there for a little bit. And then throughout the whole season, she's just like, continues to act like she doesn't need it. What?
I figured it out.
What? Explain it to me.
She did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Go back to the very beginning. The two boys are playing basketball. She tells one of the boys, the older boy, which she was the older one, take it easy on your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Tells the younger brother,
Kill him.
she gives the edge. She's the older. She don't want the older. She likes the little younger one to get them more of the power. Right there it shows. No. She fucking dropped the ball on purpose.
And then,
But she's 80. I ain't listening to that shit.
also, and she apparently never teaches her grandchildren how to play basketball because that motherfucker's just
suck.
double dribbling
They
left.
suck.
double
They
travel.
suck. It's really
Nobody has
bad.
ever taught that kid how to play basketball, apparently. Even the shot he takes is just fucking
Yeah, it's really
It's like
bad,
the
yeah.
third
wild
Manning.
behind
So,
the
yeah,
back.
honestly, right there shows and proves that she did that shit on purpose. She likes the younger person to win. She's sympathetic and gave it up. She purposely dropped the ball. She's the best player in the game by a lot. No chance she drops that ball, and she did. So we got one person. Jason says definitely dropped it.
Definitely dropped the ball.
Castle says although she wanted to possibly hold it, she did drop it.
Yeah,
Got
it
trucked.
wasn't an option.
And I'm saying bullshit. She let that ball go.
All right, well, before we get to thing two, we need to talk about the coaching decision. I feel like we need to actually seriously discuss the way Dottie carried herself going into the World Series. Because she's a fiery competitor. This goes back to my whole thing about why she won't embrace her passion for baseball. When you see her on the field, she clearly has it. She wants to win. She tells Jimmy when he's asking her opinion about Kid on the mound. He's like, oh, come on, let me just get one more inning. And she's like, she's battling. He's like, I said, what did you think? And she's like, she's done. She's throwing grapefruits. And Kit throws a glove at her, and she pisses off the way she always does. But she's like, I want to win this game. So ultimately that overrides it, which goes back to my reason of why I don't think she actually dropped the ball on purpose. But given that, her husband shows up. She's like, I don't need this anymore. That's her attitude generally the entire film. She's like, I don't need this, even though she clearly wants it. And she's the best at it.
By the way,
And-
have we figured out where this is taking place?
Rockford is in Illinois.
Oh, I
Is
thought
it
it was in
Illinois?
Georgia.
No, I actually looked it up last night.
Okay, so Illinois.
out in Georgia.
Okay, so that's
and
what we're saying.
Racine is in
South Dakota.
It's one of those other states.
One of those Dakotas.
It's like Indiana or something.
Okay, cool. So just wanted to get that fact. So they are in Illinois or South Dakota, in the middle states, and then Dottie decides to leave with her husband.
Wisconsin.
Okay, Wisconsin. Okay. Still way over there. Cool. So they decide to leave with her husband because he shows up for more, and she's like, I'm done with this. Leaves from game 1 through game 6. Lets her team get into a 3-1 deficit, tie the series at 3-3, then decides, you know what? I'm decided to play. Got all the way from Wisconsin to Yellowstone? Yellowstone?
Yellowstone.
All the way to Yellowstone and decided, you know what? I want to go back and play Game 7. Reverses, comes back and is ready to play Game 7.
I mean, what's really at Yellowstone, right? I mean,
I don't know, mountains.
I guess.
Stones that are yellow, I don't know.
I got more to jump in on this one, but I'm going to wait because I got something for later on this whole.
Shit. It's
Getting kind of riled up right now.
She says she's not a quitter. Go off on that.
She's a quitter.
This
quit.
is the thing that absolutely drove me crazy last night. The way Dottie returns in Game 7. So, first of all, the way she quits is absolutely reprehensible, to borrow a Stephen A.
Here he comes again.
All right? She decides not even to tell her manager. Jamie just happens to look off to the side as they're getting off the bus and sees her off in her car with her husband being like, good luck in the World Series. He has to approach her.
While he's giving an autograph to a couple kids that said, avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. Which, number one, how much do you think that ball is worth at this point? Number two, how many different things was he writing on balls?
Hey, that's good advice.
Good advice.
Oh, let's not go to the World Series without Stillwell's toys!
Hey, Mr. Dugan.
Yeah,
Can you send my baseball?
sure. There.
Wow. Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. Wow.
That's good advice!
How many different things was he writing on the balls? His balls
I
must have
love
been
the
most
idea
unique.
that Jimmy was just giving
Avoid
young
the
kids
clap,
great
Jimmy
advice.
Dugan. Wow.
As that's happening, he finds Dottie leaving. She didn't tell
She
the
didn't
team.
even. She was just gonna. If she had it her way, she was just gonna not show up on the bus, and he's gonna be like, "Wait, where's Dottie?" And then
Where's
she's
Dottie?
just gone. Oh no, she left home with the husband. She didn't even bother to say bye to you because you
She
didn't
just
matter
fucked
enough
off.
to.
Yeah, she wouldn't say a word.
So then he approaches her about it, and he's like slinking off like this, without even saying anything. You're gonna regret this the rest of your life. And she's just like, well, we're different.
It's chicken shit, Dottie. You want to go back home to Oregon and make 100 babies? Great. I'm in no position to tell anyone how to live. But sneaking out like this, quitting, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Baseball is what gets inside you. It's what lights you up. You can't deny that.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
She just like is super confident that like she doesn't care about baseball, which of course you would see the error of her ways and come back. But it takes to Game 7. Once the team actually makes a Game 7 series happen, then she actually just shows up.
Isn't that the greatest 3 words?
What?
Game 7 or greatest 2 word in sports?
Greatest 2 words in sports is Game 7.
There it
yes.
is.
Yeah, there you go.
3 words. Not good at this.
That's syllables.
It's
It
also,
is.
It's also 2 words. So not only does she show back up, but she has the fucking audacity to not even tell him she's coming back. And then as he's just yelling, he thinks he's yelling at Alice, who's been catching. He's like, "Are you listening to me?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm listening to you. You've been yelling the whole time." And then he's just shocked to see her. And she's not even, she just thinks that he should just understand. And then when he's asking her about it, he's like, well, I don't know if you could start. We've had Alice start in the last 6 games. Doing pretty good.
wearing her sweaty, dirty
Dirty
socks.
socks. Yeah.
I can't change these. I'm playing Game 7. Can you imagine?
Absolutely could.
Can you imagine?
They're probably so bad.
Game 7 socks, bro? Get the fuck
man.
out of here. That's probably like game 14 because she's been, just wearing them,
Get better superstitions,
support the
Alice.
team.
Do you think
Yeah.
she wore them the whole? Wow, yeah.
She probably
That's
never
what she
takes
said.
them off.
He says, Alice, you're killing me. Get her away from me.
They're killing.
So then he decides to start her. But then fast forward to that whole play at the plate. If she did indeed decide to drop the ball on purpose, that was a bad managerial decision. He should have stuck with Alice. And what are you getting out of Dottie being in the lineup? You get her bat. What was the score going into the 9th inning? 1-0 Rays scene. So you weren't even getting any hits out of Dottie. So in that sense, you're basically getting the same plate work. And the only difference was that your catcher decided to drop the ball at the plate, which means that Jimmy's decision to go ahead and start her ended up costing him a World Series championship.
However, he loses and doesn't play Dottie, who's sitting in the dugout. He's fucking he talks shit on there. Stephen
A was going to
going off on
town
her.
all
You don't
day.
play your best player in the Game 7. I don't care if she doesn't show up the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
She comes back. You play her like some shit like that. He's playing it.
He's gonna play her.
He's playing her. So
If he doesn't and they lose,
he can't not
his
play
fault.
your best player.
And
gotta play
she
your best
did get the 2 RBIs to put them ahead. I
Yeah,
will say
yeah.
that. But that could have come on a pinch hit.
Couple
at the
ribbies.
Nah,
Cecil.
you got to. You
Okay,
can't say
couple
but on
ribbies.
that. He put her in for the bat, and she gave him the
But
bat. That she
when you have her on the bench, you could put her in as pinch hitter whenever you want. That's what I'm saying. All right.
Dottie, I'm
All
married
right,
a
well,
plastic
yeah, that's a nice
surgeon.
30-minute set on fucking.
Well,
talking
that
about-
was the
That's
heavy.
the main one. That's the biggest question I've had since I watched the movie when I was.
That was
you
the
said
main
8,
event that we wanted to
and
tackle.
I watched that in the theaters. I remember watching that in theaters.
I do
was
too,
8.
actually. Yeah, I was a little kid.
I was like, dude, what? This is the greatest movie ever. Even though it's girls, like, I
Yeah.
loved baseball at the time, and it was great.
I had to
All right.
get that in real quick.
All right, with that, yeah, let's finally go ahead and get to thing number 2. Why don't girls play baseball?
I honestly say this about, in general, in most sports, it's like, why aren't they playing exactly what the men's do? However, make it so that we fit their physical attributes. For example, in basketball, why do we have them playing on a 10-foot court? We lower that thing to 9, 8.5. I got a point guard coming down the lane, dunking the ball. Now I'm watching some girls basketball.
We got a dunk contest every year.
Dunk
Jason.
contest with girls doing some stuff.
Yep.
Jason, can you actually imagine playing on a 10-foot court?
No.
On
But
a
I have.
10-foot court? Or
You
a
s-
lower
you-
court?
You said 10-foot court. I think you meant rim.
Well, 10, you know what I mean.
I know
Yeah,
what you
10
mean.
foot,
I
8
got
foot.
you.
I feel like it's the same thing. In
10
any
foot,
case,
10 foot court, I'm playing zone defense the
Yeah.
whole time. But
yeah,
that's
10
all
foot.
good.
You but lower
There's
to
a lot
9.
of old men biting up. Yeah. A lot
But
of
yes.
like fouling you get away
And
with.
on baseball, why do they feel like they need to go with a big ball underhand throw to the plate? Why can't they throw an overhand baseball? Why? And in that case, lower the offenses so it's a little bit shorter of a hit for
It's
them to
an
hit home
interesting
runs.
take because, they throw that softball hard as fuck. Like
Almost
super-
as fast.
It's almost as fast. But like you said, like why did we stop at the All-American Girls Baseball League?
Exactly.
Overhand throws.
I want to see them because I know they have the ability
They
to
have
do it
it.
already.
I don't see any moves.
Let's see them throw some overhands.
Overhand, and I'm telling you, lower. The one thing, women and men are equal in everything except for physical attributes. Men are bigger, so that with that, men play bigger sports. They have a 10-foot court, bigger fields. Baseball, just shorten the fields a little bit so that they're able to hit the home
You
runs
could make
too.
it a softball field. It's technically
Softball
smaller.
and still throw it overhand. Let's keep the thing going. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why they're not. It's
Have you guys
soccer. Maybe soccer's the same thing. Women's
Same-
soccer
same
is
size field.
maybe shrink the field a little bit, just a little bit.
I don't know. Female
this is
soccer
where you
players
go with
are-
this.
Female soccer players are ballers.
They're
I ain't gonna
ballers
name,
too,
bro.
but I'm just saying make the game quicker. You shrink it, it makes it a little more impactful, but it keeps
Yeah,
the game
that would do
going.
it.
So
That would do it.
I'm just saying, yeah. In my opinion, females should be playing the same exact sports. Just shrink the fields a little bit, shrink the court size, shrink the everything so that it fits what they're capable of doing, so it looks equal to what the men are doing at their size. That's what I think.
It's just crazy because you watch this movie and you're like, this is actually, it got intense, it got exciting,
Right.
and where did they go from? We're playing in this baseball league that we're driving revenue, selling out stadiums. Whatever, let's play softball now. I'm like, not hating on softball because softball, like I'm telling you, watch softball players, dude. I can't do any.
But why
of that.
isn't it
I can't
baseball?
do any of
I
that.
think they could play baseball.
But
though.
they could definitely
Yeah.
play baseball.
Absolutely.
Like easily could play baseball.
The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which, hot take, bit of a long acronym. Little wordy.
They could have just said American.
It's,
Get rid of the all.
It's AAGPBL. We could have just called it the Girls Professional
It's the
Baseball
same
League.
combination on my luggage.
Yeah. Girls Professional Baseball League. It's fine. GPBL. That's fine.
That's fine.
It actually existed from 1943 to 1954. And after
11 years, huh?
Yeah,
Thanks to Mr. Harvey and your
Yeah.
Harvey bars.
and at the end of the movie, after the World Series where they have a sold out crowd in this crazy game, he's like, "You know what? We'll stick with it." And you see that, and it's like a triumphant moment for women and sports and everything where it's like, yeah, why can't women play baseball? It's a great, empowering moment until you realize now we're in 2022. It's like, what happened to women's baseball? I don't even see a professional softball league. It might exist, but I see college.
It
But
ends at college, and I think that's it. Yeah.
it's like we could have been watching women's baseball all along ever since then, and it would just become a normal. It should have just been part of our normal culture of what we've seen. And they showed that they could play it. And I feel like the softball women, the talent that we see in the college softball World Series shows that they could do it. They could throw overhand. It's just that's not their sport that
And
they're
look
told they have to play.
how invested we are in
Yeah.
the characters and the players in the league.
Absolutely.
Who
And-
would have been the next chapter? They would have gotten better and better and better and better.
Which
Mr. Harvey, like your candy bars, you are completely nuts.
I love how you actually brought up the characters because I gotta point this out. I absolutely love the scene where they introduce the team. I think that's one of the best scenes just because it does it in such a great way. It channels the time. It channels the way the mindset was in the fact that we meet most of the players on the team, but they keep telling us something feminine about them. Alice doesn't mind legging out a triple and is okay with powdering her nose to make sure she keeps her beauty up tight. Ellen is a former all-star baseball and multiple-time world champion, but she also makes great coffee. You know, like everybody has a little...
Marla Hooch.
What
a hitter.
What a league.
What a league.
And how about Marla Hooch? What a hitter. What a league. But girls playing baseball?
What a league.
She just
Yeah.
sit there.
Like
No.
fucking 50 feet away.
Because
What a hitter.
That part was funny when I was 8.
Dude, it's always
It's
gonna be
funny when I'm older because they're doing a good job explaining to everybody that she's just 50 feet away. Just,
yeah,
What a hitter. Yeah.
she
Waving.
it's not even hitting in the... Just waving.
All right, now lefty.
Oh, she's a switch hitter. Which, by the way, hitting batting practice in a gym,
Indoors.
bad idea.
Windows.
It shows to be a bad idea multiple times. She almost hits like 3 different guys. We watch her take batting practice for like less than 2 minutes. Like,
Where are all those guys coming from?
why are they
is-
sitting there?
Why are they not at war, right?
Why is it raining so hard outside? Like,
I mean, that's understandable.
I'm just more
Why,
like,
why do they have a first baseman?
Yeah.
Why do they got positions going on right there?
Nobody's like ready for her to hit the ball the whole time. They're like, "Whoa, what is that?" And then she knocks out 2 windows within like 40
You
seconds.
know, Papa Hooch is like, I raised her as a little boy. I didn't know any better. I'm like, no, bro. You raised a kid that's hitting baseballs inside. You are a complete fucker. Like,
you're crazy, dude.
you're
Yeah.
crazy. You're off your rocker.
I
man.
remember hearing that in certain parts of the country because it gets so rainy and I think it almost looks like it's hailing in that scene. That's just how they did it. But either way, bad idea to try to hit a ball inside because she knocks out 2 windows and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, what the fuck do you expect? You got window. You're literally facing 100 yards away from a window, like a wall full of windows.
Dude, indoor baseball
Those
might
things
be
are good.
dope. Like futsal.
Without windows, though.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but like,
you
you know
gotta
how you have
set it
soccer
up
where you're
well.
able to
It
hit off the
bounces-
wall.
and
Yeah,
it
you just
bounces.
hit it. It bounces, but you still got to field it wherever it goes. No home runs. It just hits the wall, bounces. You're like, oh, get him out. You got to run it. Dude, indoor baseball might be
It could be fun.
a thing.
They need to set it up in a real like this was made to be indoor baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to play off the wall and everything.
They play
I
off
think
the
that could
wall,
be
like a
fun,
racquetball, and make the ball bouncier too. So it's like, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I like the idea.
People
of
are
it.
getting balls to the face.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
part of the
A
game,
ra-
bro.
oh, sorry, a racquetball? I know.
I know.
I know. I hit
Part of
the
the game.
microphone.
Anyway, but yes,
With my little
why aren't
hat.
girls playing baseball? Well, first of all, because the way the world works and they force them down, which sucks. And I would love to see it. I would love to see it. However, like I said, I just need a little bit smaller courts on basketball, smaller fields in baseball. I mean, they're already doing UFC. I love watching that. What other sports? Tennis. They already killed that.
That's the thing is like most sports at this point, I'd say other than football, which I understand
Dude,
why.
they have football. You ever seen this? They have like football leagues for girls.
Well, they had
like,
the lingerie football.
No,
league.
but I'm
football
saying like
league.
smaller leagues. Like I have a girl on my flag football team that literally like plays in a tackle football league that
Yeah.
like they just won a champion. They had to go to Vegas to play it, and it's
Wow.
crazy. Like it's
That's a good point. So like literally baseball is the only sport I just have not seen
It
women
just fell
play.
off the face of the earth.
It just did. They just decided it's softball. That's what women do. And I feel like that had to be the same way these women dealt with, sexism and men just assuming that they can't do things because they're women and you're supposed to be, oh, Betty Spaghetti can play great ball, but look at how great she makes pasta and look at her sewing ability. And Ellen can hit the ball. She's a multiple-time champion, but look at her coffee. Like, I understand. I feel like the reason that we ended up in an era where women play softball, not baseball, literally just goes back to a very sexist mindset. And I, for one, would love to see a women's baseball league come back. The fact that we end this movie with this happy moment where they're like, we'll stick with it, and it's 2022, and we still don't have a women's baseball
They
league.
just would stick with it, and then they stuck with it for like a couple years after.
They stuck with it for 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah,
You're
it was a real
completely
thing.
Nuts.
All right. Point is, I think women should be able to play baseball, and I'd love to see it again, you know?
I agree.
So,
I agree.
let's go ahead and dive in, finally, to thing number 3.
Number 3.
And that, of course, means it's time for the thingies.
It's time for the awards. Thingies, 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 thingies.
Okay. Started off with the MVP. Who's the MVP of A League of Their Own? Jason, let me
Jimmy
read that.
Dugan.
Oh, man.
I know, because we're all going to agree here.
Are we all going to agree on this? Justin, do you have a different one?
No, he
Justin
has a
had
different one.
He has a different one. He has a blank stare. All right.
He's just a brilliant
I
actor.
agree. I agree
He
with
just
you.
nails it. You get every emotion. You get all the one-liners. You get all the jokes.
Yeah.
The most iconic line from that movie is "There's no crying in baseball."
I'll
I don't
give it
even
to you.
play baseball,
I like to be a hater
but
and
that
not
is the
disagree,
number one line
but
from that
he's
whole
good.
movie. That
He
is the
is.
number one.
He's really good. He pisses for fucking. That's some long peeing.
I really enjoyed that move where you scratch your balls for an hour. Like that's
Anything worth doing is worth
We're
doing
doing
right.
it
I agree.
Well, I can certainly use the money.
But- I agree. I got Jimmy Dugan too because Tom Hanks. I honestly think this is my favorite Tom Hanks performance. He just becomes Jimmy Dugan. You know this character. You know who this person is, what he's been through, and you're watching him go through this whole process, and you're believing it. You know this is a guy who was once a great player, who wants no part of this league, and there's that important scene when he was told basically, yeah, just go out there and wave your little red hat, and there's an awesome scene where he's like, oh,
Kiss my ass.
and then he doesn't give a fuck about the rest of it. But because he loves baseball, he starts to watch a little bit. He sees somebody leg out a triple, and he's like, oh, that's a good hit. And then they tell Dottie, who's managing, taking over because he's not doing shit, is like giving her the bunt signal, and then he
You
steps
lay a
up.
bunt with your best hitter.
Yeah. And I love that scene because that scene is such a good, like, pivotal moment because not only does that when Jimmy decides he's actually going to care about this team because he wants them to win, but then you also get Dottie showing her leadership, and you also get classic Marla kind of like in and out of the batter's box, like not sure what she's supposed to do.
What are you, stupid?
Somebody's got to run the team, Jimmy. You know, someone who actually watches the games.
You gonna squeeze bunt with our best hitter? What's the sign to swing away? Hey, blonde girl! What's the sign to swing away?
It's the letters. The infield's deep. The squeeze will work.
Stop thinking with your tits. You win a big inning. You're better!
Time!
Come on!
Hey, who's the goddamn manager here? I am!
Act like it, you big lush.
You tell him, Dottie.
I love that. So that's just a great turning point of the movie, and then he obviously ends up developing a strong relationship with these players. Let me just say this, though. Hot take, okay? I know why they did include this in the movie, but if we're being realistic, and Jimmy Dugan is the man that they told us that he is and everything, right?
Oh,
The
no.
way we've
I don't
seen.
know where you're going with this.
He's definitely trying to hook up with some of these players, right? Come on. He's definitely trying. You don't think him and All the Way May end up doing something together if this is really happening?
May was probably down.
May would have been down. You know he would have been down. Just the fact that when he's passed out on the bus and they're broken down, and what's the chaperone's name? Does anybody remember her name? The older woman?
By the way, I loved you in The Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz. I just said
and she goes to wake him up, and his instinct is just grab her and start making out with her. Like, his instinct is that. Like, he even says when he first talks to, what's the guy's name that runs...
Cuthbert?
Cuthbert, yeah, I think that's it. And then he talks to the guy, Mr. Lowenstein, and he's like,
Ira Lowenstein.
He's like, I don't got...
Get on the bus.
Yeah, was that English?
Was that English?
Yeah. He's like, I don't got ball players, I got girls. Sure, you'd like to hook up with them, but to watch them play, he says something like that.
Now, Jimmy, you have some pretty good ball players here. If you want to give them a little bit of your...
Ball players? I haven't got ball players. I've got girls. Girls who want to sleep with after the game, and not with your coach during the game.
He says something to the effect of that. So that obviously shows that this is on the forefront of this guy's mind. So I understand why they wouldn't put that in the movie. But if I'm putting myself in the
mind that Jimmy Dugan has. I'm thinking him and All the Way may go all the way.
Oh,
throughout the whole season. I'm just thinking that's got to happen.
But why? Just one more reason why he's MVP is the arc of his character. He's all of us in the beginning, like girls baseball. Oh, I don't know. I don't really want to watch this movie, but
yeah,
he grows, and then at the very end, like he's giving advice.
Yeah,
he's making lineup decisions. He's scratching his balls for an hour.
I agree.
He's doing it all though. Yeah. But his arc is like it's all of us. It's like at the end he's like these girls can actually fucking play.
I was gonna save this for later, but I wonder where this actually ranks on the pantheon of great sports movies, and to me it's right at the top, which is kind of amazing because if you just told me that there was a movie about girls playing baseball, my instinct is not to be like, oh, I gotta go see that. But you watch it and it just brings out emotion in you. Straight up, I can't get through this movie without tearing up at least once, dude. It gets me when the guy comes through the door and delivers the telegram, and that guy.
Oh, can we go off on him? Justin
wants to go off on that guy. Yeah,
this
guy, dude.
Guy walks in prior to Game 7. First of all, it's about to be game.
No, it's not in the playoffs. It's just a regular season.
That's right. It's a regular season game. They're about to get ready for a game, though. The game's about to start. He comes in. He's like, "I got a telegram from one of you ladies. Gonna let you one of your husbands died."
God, you gotta hate these.
I gotta hate these. Anyway, all right. I can't figure out who it is. I gotta go back to the office and sort this out. Like, what? You're gonna leave the whole team just sitting there like one of our husbands died?
Yeah.
We'll go play the game.
And
no big deal.
MVP Jimmy Dugan's like, give me that
fucking thing.
telegram.
And then I gotta be honest. To this day, even when I talk about it, the scene of him going up to Dottie and Betty Spaghetti, them looking at each other, and him
that's
going,
brutal.
"I'm sorry, Betty." It got it right again. It got it again.
Yeah.
Dude. George. Oh, dude, I get chills every fucking time. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah. No more spaghetti for everyone.
No more spaghetti,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah, there goes it.
She's taking some time off from the pasta. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
God, I hate these.
God, I hate
right.
I gotta go sort this out.
Yeah,
that guy works with the military. There's no way they don't have a definite procedure. Like, you have to approach, you do a salute. You have, like, American flag.
He's like, I gotta let you know one of your husbands died.
That guy sits in the back seat of an F-16 for sure, bro.
Yeah. But why didn't he know the name? I've never understood that, because Jimmy's able to figure it out. So he had the name right there. Like, why is he noodling around with it like, I gotta actually...
Because he's an idiot. We just all
guy
figured it
sucks
out.
at his job.
Yeah.
Should have sent somebody else to do that. But yeah, no, this movie, it gets you like that. It gets you in scenes like that. It gets you surprisingly with old Stillwell Angel, you know?
Yeah,
you know,
at the
adult,
Hall of Fame.
AKA, no, when he's an adult.
I know, he does that when he's an adult, too.
And he says that mom passed.
And he talks about how his mom died, but she said this was the best moments of her life.
And she also was the one that came up with the song that we sang at the beginning.
She did. I actually picked up on that for the first time this time, because she says she wants to put together a song.
Ukulele?
Oh, we're the members of the All-American League. We come from cities near and far. We got Canadians, Irishmen, and Swedes. We're all for one, we're one for all. We're all Americans.
Real quick note on little adult Stillwell Angel. Classic 80s run on that guy. Okay, let's go through it real quick. So he was Teen Wolf. He was Chubbs, right? He was the dude from Pee-wee's Big Adventure who was like his main foil who like stole his bike, you know? And then little known role that is actually probably the best baseball comedy scene maybe ever in Naked Gun. Have you guys ever seen Naked Gun?
Yeah.
Great baseball scene. And then Leslie Nielsen knocks out the guy who does the national anthem. And he pretends like it's him, and he's just butchering it.
Enrico
Palazzo. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, that's no umpire, because he pretended he's the umpire. And he takes off his gear, and he shows himself to the crowd. And then there it is, Stillwell Angel. Stands up, and he goes, hey, it's Enrico Palazzo! And the whole crowd starts chanting it.
That's not the umpire, Your Honor.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
That guy had a run in the 80s just for being sort of like the fat kid who looks like an adult child, you know? Like, yeah. He maximized his potential.
Big baby.
Shout out adult Stillwell Angel. Your mom was a great woman.
So we all agree.
No, you
MVP.
You didn't give your MVP.
I said I agreed.
You seemed like you wanted to zag.
I did. I wanted to hate, but
well,
I
who
said,
were you gonna go with?
No, as I thought about it, I mean, Dottie was my MVP because she's the Dottie. You know,
No, we just
best
ripped
player.
her a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I still.
Well,
stay
Dottie
with-
was the MVP of the team, so I would have got it. But.
Team,
so that's why
movie, film.
But no, I agree. Clearly, everything you guys said. Tom Hanks, clear MVP of the movie.
Okay.
Next,
Sixth Man Off the Bench award.
we've just been talking about him. Stillwell.
Stillwell?
Angel. Come on.
The kid?
Stillwell comes down, causes a ruckus, has chocolate all over his face, runs outside. They stop the truck. You're gonna live. He just continues to stay in the movie as this little annoying kid that you're just like, God, I hate that kid, but it's Stillwell Angel. You know, it's like I hate him, but gotta give him his chocolate. You know, you gotta give him his chocolate. Like,
She gives him chocolate after he straight causes the bus driver to quit because he puts his hands over his eyes.
Have another chocolate
And her
bar,
response is, have more chocolate.
Wait,
so he's
wait.
being rewarded for causing the bus driver to quit.
And with that, the bus driver is walking into absolutely nowhere. There is nowhere within fucking 20 miles.
Yeah,
if
he's
you look,
fucked.
he
He's so
just
screwed.
gets out.
He
and
doesn't give a fuck. He just wants
Ever
no part of
regret a decision in your life? That one right there.
walking.
You know what I actually noticed this time that I never noticed before is as he's walking away and Mrs. What's her name?
He's the one that throws.
Cuthbert.
He throws dirt.
He
in her
just
face.
throws a handful of dirt in her face.
No.
Dude, he is really over this job. Dude, he's just like, no, I'm not even putting on an act right now. Fuck away from me right now.
Throws it in her face.
I am going to murder a kid.
It's more like soot.
And then right after that, she's as sick as she's ever been. And then she starts.
Well, no,
throwing
that's
up.
because they poison them so they can go out.
To a roadhouse called the Suds Bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Do I just want to talk about the Suds Bucket for a second?
dude, I would have gotten down.
I got commentary on the Suds Bucket.
I would have got down. That place looked like the party place. Like, first of all, May's getting down. Marla's getting down. Everybody was just getting.
I'm singing to Nelson.
I'm
And
saying,
All right,
baby.
Quick question there. Who gave Marla a live mic? This goes back to our Top Gun episode.
Oh no, she was drinking, man. She
handed it
took
off, bro.
control of that, man. She just took
The
control.
band is playing. This is not a live karaoke spot. She just somehow gets on stage with her absolute inability
Well,
to
understand
sing.
that there was no other live music, so people probably do this often. Where they're like, "I got a song." And then get up. Let me get up there. She was drinking and she was free spirited that night, and then
So you've
They
seen
were
this
like,
kind
yeah.
of thing. You've seen this kind of thing go by.
No, I'm just saying I can imagine with there no other being a jukebox or anything like that, and all they have is live music. They're like, "Oh, you want to sing? Come on up here." And it had to be.
She was playing for an audience of one, though.
Some
others
are
yeah.
I'm singing to Nelson.
And he's like,
"Ain't I, baby?"
You
All right.
sure are.
I'm going to go ahead and bring this question.
Ain't I, baby?
I'm going to bring this question up now then. Prior to Marla, had Nelson ever kissed a girl?
No, that's his first. Man.
Never.
That's his first.
Right?
He fell in love and married her. And
The first girl that goes to a roadhouse, what was it called? The
Suds
House
Bucket.
Road? Suds Bucket. He's finally got a girl that's into him. It's the one that they've decided is the ugliest girl on the team, and they go to lengths to make sure you realize. And the first time I feel like this guy's ever got a girl that's interested in him, they're getting married like 2 weeks later.
yeah, it's a quick turnaround.
Automatic.
And he takes her out of the league, which to me is almost possibly more unforgivable than Dottie just like
Best hitter. You took the second baseman. And
You took
best
their
hitter?
two best hitters out.
Yeah.
Between the two of them. And the only reason that I think Dottie's is worse is because she wasn't even going to tell Jimmy and she just tried to slink off. At least Marla made an announcement. She was like, bye, I'll see you next season, which, by the way, they've all known this league is in trouble.
Dude, she did leave, huh? They didn't have Marla.
She never came back.
That's crazy.
No
dude.
Game 7 Marla.
Dude, you can't have not.
They
have
lost
her.
their two
That's
best
the number
hitters.
3, number 4 right there.
They
That's
win the
crazy.
World Series
That's
if
crazy.
she's there.
I don't know. They're down 3-1. Maybe that's why they're down 3-1.
They only were down
they're not.
1.
They're not winning that first game down 10.
They were only down 1 in Game 7.
Yeah, but that
Marla
first-
makes that difference for sure.
Not-
She was
Ain't
their
I-
best hitter.
Ain't I, baby?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
The baby.
Yeah. Hey, could I just say a seventh man is all the way May. Madonna.
Oh,
She did
Madonna.
a great
Makes
job.
it-
She did
We should
absolutely-
talk about Madonna for
I'm
a
doing
second.
6-7.
Yeah.
I'm doing 6th and 7th place because you got Stillwell, but Madonna just. I remember being a kid and be like, dude, Madonna's amazing.
Well, this was peak Madonna, too.
Peak Madonna.
Like 1992, that was when she had already become a huge star throughout the 80s.
That was La
and
Isla
the 90s.
Bonita.
Oh. La Isla Bonita.
I did not
and
get
then
it.
some face.
Yeah. And then she brings it home with "This used to be my playground."
This used to be my childhood dreams. All right.
No, yeah. That's so.
Who's your sixth man, Steve?
Mine is easy. John Lovitz.
Oh, dude, that's going to be mine, too.
Oh,
Has to
man.
be.
All right,
Has
you know.
to be.
John Lovitz just cooks every second he's on scene in this movie.
Every scene he has.
He is constantly
Nails it.
hilarious.
I just wish they would have brought him back at some point.
He came back at the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah, for a
that
quick
was an old
cigar.
guy,
For
I
a quick
guess.
cigar, but I just would like maybe later in the scene. He just came back for another 2 minutes.
He should have been at Game 7, right?
Game
Should've
7,
showed
like
up.
I told
You're
these
right.
girls they were going to
Good
be.
point.
Yeah.
It's actually funny because he almost has a line about it when they're first going to the tryout, and they're like, "Oh, well, where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, I have to get my pickle tickled."
Give the wife a little pickle tickle.
Oh, is that what he
I'll
said?
be on my way. Yeah.
And then he's like, and then
Oh,
they're-
dry-
and they're-
oh,
and
dry
he's
your
like,
ass.
"Go tryouts, play."
It's been a thin slice of heaven. Goodbye.
Wait, you're going?
Ah, dry your eyes. Yeah, I'm just going home, grab a shower and a shave, give the wife a little pickle tickle, and I'm on my way. I'll see you.
Yeah, but
But what? Field, tryouts, play. That's it. Get lost.
come on, guys.
I hate when they get attached to me like that.
So they're literally like channeling our inner selves to be like, "But we want more John Lovitz. Are you really saying you're leaving the movie right now?" And he's like, "God, I hate it when they get so attached to me."
the fucking cow moves. Will you shut
up? I could listen to John Lovitz yell at farm animals all day.
Will you shut up?
The way he starts like kicking the chickens,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Get
Get
away
these
from
wild
me, get
animals
away."
away.
Doesn't that hurt them?
Haven't you ever heard of a leash? Like, no, every
You
single.
know, if I had your job, I'd
kill myself. Yeah,
sit here. I'll dig up a pistol.
yeah. When he's at the
110%.
Sir, your knee. Like it?
That's what the 6-man award is all about to
Dude,
me.
absolutely.
Somebody who
100%
just
to me.
maximizes every second that they're on the screen. And John Lovitz, literally, from the moment he shows up to every scene he's a part of, literally just carries it.
They'll pay you $75 a week.
We only make 30 at the dairy.
Well then, this would be more, wouldn't it? You interested?
Come on. $75 a week? Pull her leg for a while. Mine are long enough already.
Look, your country needs you, and you can not only play ball, but you're kind of a dolly. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, now I get it. Listen, mister, I'm a married woman. My husband's overseas.
Oh, relax. I'm talking looky, no touchy. Just that we want girls who are easy on the eye.
Well, I'll go. I'm ready right now. I gotta sign something.
I don't want you. I want her, the one who hit the ball. You can climb back under the cow.
I don't want you, I want her. The
girl.
one who actually hit the ball. Don't you climb back up on that horse?
Under the cow. Yeah,
You
exactly.
see, the way it works is the train moves, not the station.
John Lovitz is one of the easiest 6-man awards I've ever had because
I want to feel like he wrote all those jokes or just let him improv.
I
or
feel like,
something.
yeah, he had to be in on the writing because it's
That's just
very John Lovitz.
Very John Lovitz.
Yeah. And so that's an easy one for me.
That's my 6, man.
All right.
Stillwell,
You can
Madonna, and John Lovitz. I like it.
By the way-
Used to be.
yeah.
May Mortabito, by the way. Great name.
Morbito.
Yeah.
Eminem. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, and what's our third and final?
Who is the practice squad player that we maybe could lose from this film?
I'm going to jump in real quick.
Hit it.
It's Dottie's husband. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Man.
You ruined everything.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
if
hot
anyone
take.
knows how talented Dottie, if anyone knows how talented Dottie is her husband, right? It's like, wait, I've been away at war, and you're fucking smacking the ball and making a name for yourself and making his
Yeah,
money.
you're in the finals,
and you made it to Game 7, but you don't. No. Let's go to Yellowstone because I'm a selfish fuck.
Well,
yeah, he needs to not be in that movie. I'm sorry.
I put that on Dottie though for in kayfabe wise, right? Because even Jimmy asked her at one point, like, does he know how good you are? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh. She doesn't ever talk about it, right? Which it's like, okay, he's a way warrior writing letters. How do you not bring up your whole baseball league? You know what you're doing. So the fact is, to him, he's just coming to get her from doing this hobby that she's been wanting to do. And so she's just deciding to not tell him about it. And then when he shows up, she's like, yeah, I don't need this. Let's go. So, what does he got to twist her arm?
He should be like, no, you got to stay. Look at, like,
you should have.
Look what you're leaving.
Bill Pullman.
Fucking Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman.
Anyway, that's mine.
Well,
bro.
I
stay at the war, dude.
I hear you, but I also think that he is needed to give Dottie her whole confusion about whether or not she wants to stay with the league. And it goes back to my main question back at the start, where it's like, why is Dottie so not willing to embrace her passion for baseball? She puts Bill Pullman over all of it. Yeah. So
I'm gonna go with Dottie and Kit's parents, specifically their dad, because this is what the fuck. Let them talk in the kitchen. They're talking. Your father's listening to the radio. Like,
keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Like, fuck you. Get the fuck out of the movie. What are you doing here? Nobody cares about you. We're talking over here.
You never even saw him.
No, you're just over there listening to the radio. Like, they got to shut up. I'm listening
to the radio.
I'm listening. Like, get the fuck out of here, Dad.
Like, we all have a vision for what
they're
he
over here
like.
milking your cows and fucking working your thing. You didn't even go have the audacity to go see their game that they just got done playing.
And they were like slicing you bread and shit. Like,
yeah, and Kit just asked you to grab your gloves so you can play baseball. There was no chance he was ever going to grab his fucking glove to go play baseball. He's listening to the fucking radio. They can leave. Both the parents. Your father is listening to the radio. Get the fuck out of here, Mom, Dad. That's my. That's
a good one too.
They even have multiple scenes where he's referenced but not seen when she's like, "Daddy, get your glove."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. And there's no way you saw him. There's no chance he was grabbing a glove.
Was not.
There's
yeah.
no chance he was grabbing a glove.
If you listen really closely, he's probably like,
radio. Yeah, exactly. So that's my.
Was
thing.
it?
Steve, who you got?
John Lovitz. Was it creepier and intriguing when he was like grabbing Kit's arm and was like, You're a pitcher, huh? Like how strong could her arm have been?
It looked pretty strong.
Yeah, but not that strong. That's not
no. Hot take.
Uh-oh.
Let's get Stillwell out of there. I don't need him.
What?
This is annoying, dude.
You're taking out my sixth man?
Yeah. What? The only reason I enjoy Stillwell's presence is because he comes back and gives an emotional moment in the Hall of Fame, which ultimately, you could have lost that too. I don't know. I don't know if I need the annoying kid. So we have the comical early 90s shots of the kid covering his eyes while the girls are changing and everything. Like, I don't know.
His best scene was getting hit by the glove because he nailed it.
It was a good full circle validation that he finally got hit by that.
Well, gotta give it the scene is funny when her mom's asking, Mr. Dugan to bring him. And
okay,
like,
I do.
And he's
I
like,
literally do. All right,
ball players.
I will admit this.
Spits.
In which case, I don't. If that's the case,
he's a sweet little boy.
I actually have it written. One of my favorite scenes. Tom Hanks' non-conversation with Eleanor, because the whole time this is still when he's just not sold on the idea, and he hasn't talked. All he's done is just shown up, take like a 3-minute long piss, been drunk all game, doesn't even pay attention to what's happening, and she tries to have a whole conversation with him, and the whole time he's just staring at her, like, why are you standing in front of me? And he doesn't even give her a response to the whole thing. Like, she gives him the story.
Goes, ball players.
Yeah, that's all he does.
And spits.
And he gets like a spit.
Right here.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite, literally, conversations of the whole movie, because he doesn't even say anything, but that's why I love him so much in this movie, because he doesn't even need to.
So I just want you to know one of your favorite scenes in the movie would not have happened had you got rid of Stillwell.
No, I know. It's a hard one.
So I'm just giving you the full circle here.
All right.
You're
all right. I got
contradicting yourself.
All right, fine. I got another one. You know how Rosie O'Donnell, Doris, had like 2 random like nerdy guys that were following around everywhere giving her flowers? Just make that one. Yeah, I lose one of the other guys.
The twins?
Just make it the one guy. Yeah, were they twins? All right, there you go. I only need one of those. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, they did love her. That's funny.
Yeah. Which
they never showed us.
By the way,
they made it up though. They brought her dad around. He's like, I'm taking out for a steak dinner. Just telling everybody, yeah, I just got a ticket. I'm taking a steak dinner. And it was like, how many people are you gonna tell you going to fucking steak dinner?
That scene is literally just that scene.
I'm taking a steak
dinner. It changes.
Like,
they didn't even need to add that. It's funny. I know.
On that note, no better opportunity to bring this up. Did you guys ever notice the picture of Rosie O'Donnell's boyfriend that she ends up throwing up, ripping up and throwing up?
So long, Charlie.
It's so long, Charlie.
That guy's picture is epic.
He looks like a fucking schmuck.
He's
dude.
like got a white beater with like suspenders and a straight unibrow, and he's like looking at the
He's like
camera
this.
like he's pissed. Yeah,
like he's holding his backpack straps. Yeah.
I never noticed before I watched it last night. That is such a funny like. This is your boyfriend?
Yeah, he smells.
And they're
He
like,
smells
yeah.
and he treats me bad.
Yeah, no, and they're like, is the camera blurry? And you're like, nope, that's just how he looks.
That's what he looks like.
Doris, is this your boyfriend?
Yep.
Is it out of focus?
No, that's how he looks.
Well, you know, looks aren't the most important thing.
That's right. The important thing is he's stupid, he's out of work, and he treats me bad.
Final notes and hot takes. Let's start it off with the girl that can't read.
Hey, why was Meg giving her a porno to read? Like, there's so much other
just what
material.
Meg has.
Wait, can I just? This might be a dumb
Do it.
question, but how do you not know how to read your own name?
Exactly what I was about to ask. This girl
I feel
doesn't
like
know how
that's
to
the first
read
thing
her
you write
name.
is your name, right? Maybe besides cat.
If
or
there's
dog.
one thing that you should know how to read in life, it's your name. Like, how old is she? She's got to be like what, mid-20s at least.
Oh yeah, no,
She's
she
never
could-
seen her
nah,
name written out.
Possibly not. No, I'm gonna go with you on it.
If
No,
we
she
look
probably-
into that, maybe there's a thing where girls weren't learning how to read.
Yeah, and
I
they
don't
and
know.
she was no.
or people in general weren't learning how to read.
But she did make the team, so that means she was playing baseball. So she was anyway.
All right,
Milky.
Milky
White.
Breast.
Get to
Gets
the next
even better.
chat.
It
It
gets even
gets
better.
getter. Yeah, it's classic.
I love how Jimmy Dugan sips his flask to clean his mouth out after kissing Mrs. Cuthbert. That's a great point. I just love the idea that like that's what cleanses him. He's like, ah,
His scream too.
then he grabs the flask and just throws it back, tosses one back real quick. You guys enjoy the look of the front rolls with a hat back look, 40s hairstyle. You know how the girls had all the girls have like front rolls,
and then the hat would be like,
and then their
this,
hats
and
behind that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Enjoy it.
especially
Betty Spaghetti.
Ellen.
Oh yeah, Betty Spaghetti. That's my girl.
Honestly, I love the whole team.
Yeah.
What a hitter!
Even the girl that she says it's separate and spread. There should be two. I was like, she looks fine. What's wrong with
Thin
you?
and separate. Oh, we forgot about that whole scene too.
Oh, when they teach him how to do class.
Gracefully and
Yeah.
gracefully and grandly.
I feel like that scene was literally.
Doris is just going ham on the
Yeah,
fries.
just crackers and cookies and biscuits.
And it was almost just shown to show how much Marla doesn't have grace because she's just doing this.
The Nazi
thing,
salute.
Like, yeah, basically.
And then all the way May looking at Ira just like,
Oh yeah, that
we're
fool.
going on.
Oh,
the
then
way.
she banged him in the.
Oh, for sure, bang.
No, they did, and then she gets out of the communion.
No,
All
that's
right,
the
so
priest.
let's talk about that real quick. What happened in that communion thing? Because I always thought when I was younger, did she just like go do something with a priest in there? And then this
was
past
just-
time, I was like, maybe he was just like, oh my God, she told me so many sins.
It was her confessional that he just got all sweaty and
Yeah,
hot
that's
and
what it
bothered.
was.
Okay. When I was literally younger, I was like,
That was definition of hot and bothered, sweaty. And
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like, why are you getting sweaty
And
though?
then she gave a little wink and shit. Yeah, no, Madonna was so
Speaking of Madonna,
And then he opens the door so everyone
sweaty.
can see
So he's
in.
sweaty and just
Father.
that's the
Control
second time
yourself,
he's dropped
father.
the Bible in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of All the Way May, and remember we go back to the Suds Bucket Roadhouse, that whole dance scene, they just basically let Madonna cook there for a while. But
She's cooking.
She's basically going back and forth between two guys. Remember that? And they're battling each other, and they keep getting mad that she's dancing with the other guy, and then basically one of the guys is just kind of does this super like generic stuff, and then the other guy is like an established swing dancer, right? He starts like throwing her around his legs, and she's doing all the stuff with him, and
He
she
looked
could
like
just hang with him.
Razor Ramon, actually, when I think about it.
So then, basically, that guy wins the dance battle. But then when they come back to later
She's
in the
making out
scene,
with homeboy.
she's making out with the other guy. That basically, it's a classic example of the guy who just sticks it out. He just stands around and lingers.
Oh, God, I hate
and just
that guy.
hangs around and just won't like. Oh no, she's really dancing really well with this guy. I'm just gonna hang around. I'm just gonna stand here. And then next thing you know, he's the one who's like making out with her.
I've seen
and
it
stuff.
too many times.
Yeah.
The Nick Cobbs
Far
of the
too-
world.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't say that.
The only reason is because I know they won't listen.
Catching the rebounds?
Doesn't matter.
Catching rebounds.
By the way, college
Just
Nick,
standing
not,
around-
not now, Nick.
Stand-
Nobody now.
All right,
Everybody's
stop saying
matured
names.
and
Stop
now.
saying names.
I'm only saying it's because they...
This is just college.
Just hanging around the rim, grabbing rebounds. I gotta get some putbacks in here.
What else you got? What other hot takes?
I absolutely love as Jimmy is going to war with Eleanor about missing the sign, and he has the whole, there's no crying in baseball, because he says, Rogers Hornsby was my manager, and he called me a talking violent pig shit, and that was when my parents came 60 miles just to see me play the game. And did I cry? No. And he gives all that. No. Here's why I love that. Because Rogers Hornsby is one of the early great players in Major League Baseball, and he is a legendary asshole. Apparently he had like KKK affiliations. I've heard that. What's the word?
It's a deeper.
With that name, I believe it.
What's the word? What's the word? Allegedly. I don't know exactly if that's
Rogers Hornsby.
But I literally looked up Rogers Hornsby asshole, and like one of the first things I saw on a website that said Rogers Hornsby, he was a magnificent asshole. Which I thought, what a great way to describe an asshole.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball!
Why don't you leave her alone, Jimmy?
Oh, you zip it, Doris! Rogers Hornsby was my manager, and he called me a talking pile of pig shit. And that was when my parents drove all the way down from Michigan to see me play the game. And did I cry?
No.
No! No! And you know why?
No.
Because there's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball! No crying!
Catch a ball, get a kiss. Great promo. All right? If I actually think that doing that promo is what really turned the league on. Yeah. Catch a foul ball, get a kiss.
Or Dottie doing the splits.
That helped. Life magazine putting that out there, which brings me to this. What happens when Dottie hits a foul ball and like some sailor catches the ball? Dottie's not going for it, right?
She sends Alice.
She goes, I'm a married woman. Yeah, she sends May.
Sure.
May. Oh, yeah, May's a team player.
Yeah. There's an ever so slight nod to the racial bigotry that was happening at the time.
About the one spot where the girl throws the black girl throws the ball a mile cannon. Yeah. And by the way, there's no way she throws it that far and it hits the glove of the person and the person goes, ow. Yeah. Way too far of a throw.
I don't know. How much speed did it have coming?
It doesn't matter. There's no chance they had enough velocity to hit smack her glove and go, ow.
I feel like if they wanted to, maybe if this movie was done now, they would probably hit that a little bit harder. But I do at least appreciate that it was like tip of the cap to it.
That's all they did to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a quick tip. Like
it was a little like subtle little nod. She just gives a little head nod.
And moved on, man. Yeah, they got in and out of that subject like within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The director's like, fine, we shot it. You happy? Back to Madonna now. Let's go.
Let's go all the way.
Let's go all the way.
What's harder, the behind the back catch that Dottie does or the hat catch that May does?
Behind the back.
Behind the back.
You think?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to catch a full-on outfield fly ball with a hat? It's not easy.
It'd be easier to catch it behind your back.
That is more tricky. Yeah. Doris would fuck up Kit. I just have that written down.
Oh, with that fight they almost had?
They had a fight. Doris would definitely... She's got like 100 pounds on her easily, I think.
And beyond that, she's just more... She's just rough.
She's an athlete.
She's just the rougher one of the group.
Demolish her, and then her father would take her out for a steak dinner.
Quote that I've always loved, literally since my childhood, is Ellen coming in with, has anybody seen my little red hat?
Oh, piss on your hat.
Right after Dottie and Kit have their blowout. I remember thinking that was hilarious.
Why does that one part stick in my head in that movie? Has anyone seen my hose? Has anyone seen my hose? You guys remember that part?
Mm-hmm. No.
Why does that part stick out?
I don't know.
I don't know why it sticks out.
You're thinking about the cone bras.
Also, Ellen, she's just such like literally the only reason she's there the whole time is she's just like the nice, saintly one where like Jimmy decides, all right, before Game 7, I'd like to lead us in a prayer. And they're just like, what? And he's like, I'm going to lead us in a prayer. And Ellen's just like, oh, how lovely.
Yeah, how lovely.
She's just there to be the nice one. Doris, a bit much in the final at bat. When it comes down to Kit down to the final out, she literally throws one strike, and Doris is over there at third base going, thank you, God! Oh, my God!
But she also keeps it going on strike 2, and it goes, one more!
She does.
One more!
Can you imagine watching a World Series game that comes out of Game 7, and it's strike 1, and the third baseman's out there like, thank you, God! Like, she honestly deserved everything that happened to her. Including...
she played it perfectly. She caught the ball, threw it home. Just what she needed to do.
She did what she needed to do. And then she ends up walking through the halls being like, we had it until the last batter. You know, whatever she's saying.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, strike one.
Either way, honestly, Rosie O'Donnell, great character in this movie.
Great character.
She seems like a legit ball player. And apparently she was actually the best player on the team. Final questions. Did Kit just think that Dottie hated her? Because she's shocked at the end that Dottie actually, like, says she loves her and misses her and she's going to miss her. She, like, can't believe that she's like, really? Me? You're going to miss me? It's your fucking sister.
Yeah.
Well, Kit's an emotional wreck.
Yeah, the whole
I
movie.
guess so. All right, last question. Can you imagine just walking by a park and seeing just like a team of grandmas playing a full-on competitive game of baseball?
Aggressive game, too.
Aggressive game.
Like yelling at the umpire, kicking dirt on his shoes and shit?
Yeah.
In
Can
jeans
I
and
imagine it?
sweaters.
In jeans and sweaters.
Can I imagine it? I'd
Backwards
definitely
hat.
drive by, but like, oh, look at that, and then keep driving. Like it wouldn't be astounding. You know?
Yeah.
I
I
would
could
just
care less.
Be like, let him play.
Yeah, whoa. My grandma couldn't do that. You know what I mean?
No,
I'd say that.
mine cannot.
I would get home and be like, hey, I drove by the park and there's a bunch of old ladies playing ball. It was getting pretty aggressive.
Did I see you barrel a catcher
What's for dinner?
over?
Yeah, it was. Anyway, what's up?
And move on. That's it. That's how far that would go.
You also never brought up the catcher that wanted to encourage Kit that they only had one. You said that was going to be your MVP.
Yeah,
That was
I switched
Racine
it up.
MVP. Okay.
I switched it up.
All right. I just
Fuck
wanted
her.
to
You
put
got a
that
change of heart.
in. Yeah. But I just wanted to.
You got to
say,
hit.
She's, Kit, one more run and we are in this game. Like, she's actually the MVP of Racine. Fuck Kit. They would carry her off. Catcher girl. She put up with May's bullshit, kicking her mask and shit. Yeah. That girl hangs in there. Anyways, I think we've circled the drain enough on this. That is A League of Their Own. Our favorite baseball movie of all time. Hard take. I'm just going to speak for all of us. Let's get after it. Let's keep these three things running. DJ Jag. J-Way.
Yeah!
Yes, sir.
Mule!
Nag.
And we are out of here.
Used to be my childhood dream. This used to be the place